Evil geniuses turn to ban. EHOME's turn to pick.
Earth Spirit.
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
Welcome back, everybody, to more MDL action. It's the MarsTV Dota2 Winter League. We are now in playoff action. We have made our way through the qualifier, through crazy group stage with all those crazy tiebreakers, and now already playoffs. Pretty damn hype. First best of three goes to full 3-game stretch.
And it started off just with like crazy
seconds
games. We've seen
remaining.
a 17-minute GG out from EG without losing our Rax just because they were like down and out. We saw a 2-minute Rax the following game, and the team went on to lose and GG out while they were ahead of Rax. Like, this is like
Amazing.
yeah, it's some really cool, amazing that we're seeing here. So
I cannot wait to see what is going to be in store for us for game number 3.
Yep.
Let's check out that draft right now and see what kind of heroes we're going to be looking at with. And
I mean, Earthgrid, he won last game, man. This is not doing.
win right now.
Yeah, it's not your case very good.
Oh, the nerfs are coming.
Yeah.
I'm telling you though, there are some good counters out there. I would love to see them just maybe consider going for it. We'll see, but
Ignore this man. Nerf the hero. There's no way he's talking about it.
EG though, the response is a really early commitment to the Darkseer here.
First pick too.
So they might look for something like a Spear Breaker on here as a follow-up. It used to be the classic, 1-2 punch.
They had a lot of problems with the Darkseer in game 1, and that was like a 3rd or 4th pick Darkseer.
Yeah.
Just because they had too many heroes, but probably see them pick up a more tempo controller mid for Sumail with the Darkseer, or at least
Invoker's still there.
Yeah, Invoker, Lina. Well, Invoker was like they had the Invoker plus Arteezy carry plus Darkseer was kind of a
OD as
problem.
well as also still cool.
That's been first banned. I guess that's what they're considering right now.
Yeah.
Do we pick OD or not?
They usually always first pick unless they pick it. So if by trend, I would imagine they're going to be maybe considering picking it up here, but they have.
It's such like an uncertain pick because you're thinking, do we go with what's worked and been sold for us, which is actually kind of like the Night Stalker's been one of those kind of key picks for them, or do you go for something which you feel is really strong, like you first ban worthy, but you haven't been playing because you're less comfortable with the OD just because you have like I think EG even had one OD they may have lost too, but I don't think it was because of the OD by any means, but. Like if you haven't been playing what's with the hero, then maybe like guessing picking it despite it being as strong as it is.
Looks like it'll be a little different though this time. The Night Stalker to Fear, it's seen with the Darkseer already come out. And again, don't want to sound like a broken record. Night Stalker, of course, with this fabulous map control, provides the silence, which I know is the kryptonite to the pesky Earth Spirit. They already got that tool in their belt, which is good, great, and
a great hero to Iron Shell early on.
Oh yeah,
and even during the daytime, you can have a scary Night Stalker. Like you put an Iron Shell on him, you surge him as a Darkseer, and he runs at you and causes a lot of problems.
Suddenly, a Lady Death Prop coming out for EHOME here. So
EHOME are like, if we're gonna go out and lose this series, let's showcase all heroes that need to be nerfed right now.
Okay.
So your Soul Siphon, your
so who else would fit the build?
Who are the other OS Frog heroes? They need to pick up an OD.
Invoker, is he still? He's got a couple little nerf touches.
5 seconds.
Who's the
10 or minor nerf?
Who are the heroes?
OD.
Reserve time.
So maybe like throwing an off, even though it's not OP, but people playing it all the time because it's into games. But yeah, throw an OD, see who I can play OD safe lane, and then you get all the OS Frog heroes.
My draft tools tell me that Genji might back for the Lycan here. I really like against two picks coming out from EHOME, and it's not like EG to kind of step too far from going with the Lycan once more here. We'll have to see what kind of response is coming out from them. Otherwise, a solid grab from PPD. Maybe you go back for the Dazzle once again. And it looks like OD is going to be banned out, or maybe they get what's left for them and best, and grabbing like the Invoker now, let's say.
Well, EG perhaps looking to pick one of those Invoker type heroes with a Pugna ban, worried about either the Nether Ward or the just pushing power with the Nether Blast, maybe combination of the two.
Might have also been a reason why they didn't have the Faceless Void at the start, and given that EHOME loved to grab the hero when available, but also very good against Invoker.
I mean, if the the soul siphon's not enough. You throw in a life drain to heal up the death prophet even more. Like, oh, here's another little beam to heal you up. You know,
it's even better than the ult. I gotta say, soul siphon just seems so. That should be Pugna's ult. She should have life drain. You know, like the old terrible used to have. Just give her a basic life drain and give Pugna the pure damage through charge.
Then you'll start seeing like death prophets go like jungle in your pub games.
Remaining.
I don't know.
Wouldn't be anything different.
Be a new Legion
5
commander.
seconds remaining.
And you just like max life. You sit there trading like bigger
Reserve
troops
time.
and jungle away. It's miserable days of Dota.
Like band following up.
Evil geniuses turn to pick.
The witch, not the witch doctor. He banned out. She had been picked that. Yeah, why don't you just grab up the here that are running different. Whatever happened to Ranger? I mean, I don't mean to pose to the left hand question. The hero feels like it's
10
just ready to
seconds
die.
remaining.
You know? Was she hit tough?
5 seconds
Like,
remaining.
she's just not in it. An arrow, we kind of have like creep. I mean, I guess it
Reserve time.
for Shackle Shop, it could also hurt. I don't know. You know, it's just one of those things like, hey, what happened to that hero? Yeah? Used to be a big thing. Wow.
I think the hero was perhaps overrated and overvalued because of how good we was on the hero, and like Seeker were dominating for a long time, and he was just like he was often going for the win range. So I think a lot of teams kind of took that and went with it, but it wasn't necessarily winning games by what it would bring to the table.
They could always go for the trusty gyrocopter here also for EG. They wanted to commit for a good core, and it's a great team fight to go along with the Darkseer. I mean, we've seen many vacuum call downs in our history, so or it could be RTZ Sven kind of a game. We've seen them pull that out a couple of times. It also has synergy along with the Darkseer. Might be heavy committed into the melee department,
5
but
seconds remaining.
oh,
Sven, there you go.
there is the Sven.
So EHOME see this. It's Warcry going to help a lot against the Death Prophet Ultimate as well. EHOME may looking to diversify, not like a physical damage for C since it's not a matchup too well against the Sven.
And I'm not mistaken, when PPD first released his draft analysis videos on YouTube, it was right at after TI4, and he went back and
10
reflected on
seconds
TI4.
remaining.
That was when Death Prophet was also crazy, along with Laser, and he had said that
5 seconds
he'd like to have Sven pick up a lot against the Death Prophet, the hefty burst, the great armor we were just talking about. So, you know, just something he easily gets to kind of pull up from the olden days here. And EHOME are picking up the Disruptor right now. Very good, of course, lane against the Darkseer. Tries to and Disrupt says, get back over here.
Good magic damage too. You throw in some ability to kite around the Sven Night Stalker with kinetic field with glimpses. And I think they want to go, they may be EHOME now who consider the Gyrocopter, since it led well against Darkseer, the Night Stalker, and Call Down Rocket Barrage gives you some good magic damage to fight around too. But how much? C2A's played a lot of Gyrocopter, but I'm not sure if that's like a guaranteed go-to.
Oh my goodness, this is four melee heroes already.
So you're saying what you're saying is you bring out the techies.
So EHOME go techies here,
absolutely.
and there's nothing EG are gonna do about it, and they're gonna get a taste of their.
Then you just ban a Ranger, and I'm sure there's like one Ranger left in the pool. So yeah.
What is going on? Is that a Sumail mid lane Tiny?
It's gotta be.
PPD pull the lane with Tiny? Wow.
I think a Tiny plus Night Stalker support duo is a bit.
So do you think this is something for EG to benefit within their own draft and potential synergy, or is it they know that maybe Tiny just matches up nicely against the DP?
They like the burst damage of Tiny against Death Prophet being able to quickly kill her, so you don't have to fight a long drawn out fight against Exorcism.
Great candidate to get AC later on.
Yep.
I mean, Burst seems to be the name of the game. Tiny Sven, they get a hold of you, you're lucky to make it out alive. But look at this kind of combo breaker coming out from EHOME, though. When they try to make that big kind of jump with those big plays, Tidehunter could come in and just rain on parade with a huge Ravage. But a great team fighter to go alongside with something like the Earth Spirit, with the Disruptor. Lots of crowd control coming up for EHOME.
Yeah, a really good answer when you see those 4 melee heroes, a lot of physical damage on the playing field. And I mean, you're against 4 melee heroes, you don't even have to go blink this game. I don't even think you necessarily want to go blink. You'd rather get the fast mech, the Greaves, just build these items to help your team stay alive, to help protect the Death Prophet to be on the front lines, manning up against these
Mm-hmm.
tanky front lines that EG have.
So what do you get for EG? Is this a Dazzle PPD
Dazzle,
game?
Yeah, PPD,
Get the
Dazzle,
armor.
10 seconds
or
remaining.
Treant's like another melee hero. It doesn't sound like
Ogre.
ideal, but
Just go all in with the melee combat.
it's Bloodlust. You put Bloodlust on Tiny's face. It was like the game they played Ogre was like Bloodlust on an OD as well as a Lord Druid. But
Oh, PPD Chen.
EHOME's turn to pick.
yes, PPD Chen. Here we go.
I mean, is MDL the first instance we've been seeing EG really play with Chen? I know coming into this event, everybody would look at EG and be like, this is not a Chen team. And many people did say that, but he's been pulling it out a couple of times now here at MDL, and you know, when a hero's good, you might have a Chen player, it might just need to happen here, and we know PPD to be a very flexible player.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how this is gonna fit into the overall EG game plan.
So look at the CTY grab now. See all this
Terrorblade maybe? I mean, it's kind of not squishy-ish hero against Tiny Sven, but Queen of Pain is another. That's your classic CTY hero. Queen of Pain's definitely disappeared a lot, and it's Queen of Pain, Death Prophet. I'm not sold on how well those two can go into the game. Morphling, okay, that works.
A Morphling.
That works. That's
Morphling, huh?
That's a good pick. Much better than the ignore the hero was suggesting.
So why the Morphling? This is because he might be able to easily avoid potential trouble in the laning stage and, you know, kind of cruise control his way into, you know, critical mass and be a problem in the late game. Or because I'm looking at it where EG have so much burst on their team that they might be able to just get the jump onto someone like Morphling and take him out before he even dreams of, you know, building in the gains, let's say.
He's a very just stable character in that it takes a bit longer to come online, but when he farm, like, he's gonna always offer a lot to your team. He's also very good at securing farm because he's so hard and difficult to game. Yes, EG have a step, but unless they lead and get off the Nightstorm silence before he starts morphing strength, there's a chance he'll survive, even with a tiny combo with Sven, the follow-up stun, whatever it may be, just because of the nature of Morphling being able to just morph stats so incredibly fast. So it is a pretty Morphling game, and you know your opponents have a Chen. He's going to be in the jungle. They don't have heroes to really punish the Morphling in the laning stage or the early game. Like last game, EHOME's answer for the Morphling was very much like, let's push and fight before the Morphling can do anything. I don't feel like EG's draft can go for that 15-minute high ground push by any means.
Not hearing any game sounds. Is that just an unfortunate kind of glitch in the matrix right now of Perfect World or something? Definitely no game audio,
our good friends in the backstage.
Yeah, okay, production. Ah, there it is. And we're back and we're ready, folks. Let's do it. It is EG versus King number 3, and it looks like another bloodbath at the start of this one. He's gonna be gunned down. Oh, what is a courier?
First blood courier is EG getting everything that could to start this game.
Kaka getting burned down from the Iron Shell. What lane old chicken getting run in right now? Persistent Salve is gonna find Iron Shell's gonna stop Salve, so Kaka is good, but the team overall might not be good. How the hell did courier go down? They handed over first blood. Man, this is a hell of a series.
It's just been like bizarro game after bizarro game.
Oh my god, no courier at the start.
And that's really bad for Death Prophet, who can't bring out his Salve. Nice.
Level 1 still.
Whoa! That would have been a big turnaround if he hits that. He needs to just like help out, provide some regen for the TZ in off lane.
Everybody's so frisky right now.
Yeah, on a lane this Sven is have really non-present support here. You don't have that Dazzle, that Bane to help secure farm, so they don't lane him against Tide. That's going to be a disaster for Sven. So instead, they send him to the off lane to go kind of in a lane where he's not going to be able to do a lot, but he can at least do a bit better than what they do against Tide.
Who ended up getting that first blood in the midst of chaos? I couldn't really see. Now we might have to hold that thought. They're making a move for CTY here. Fear. Kind of reevaluating the situation as Venom is still getting involved. They change targets. They look to go for the easier one into the Disruptor. It looks like they will be able to bring him down, maybe? Oh, take a little bit of extra muscle, but finally grab him. RT with no TP. Hides out behind the tower. CTY gets that kill. Salves up, and RTZ salves up too.
No.
Okay. Whoa.
These guys are ready to blow, man.
Yeah.
This is This
Tiny-
is let's get this outside.
Tiny also died in the mid lane at some point too. I think it was like Spirit with his rotation, like kind of what he almost tried to do earlier with Death Prophet. So that gives EHOME a little kind of boost to their mid lane.
So has there been? Oh, now go CT
We don't
with
get
the
time
help
to
of the
pause
void.
Dakota.
Yeah, we can't analyze this game because there's just non-stop action right now. CT,
You get
why?
his sword.
Under
Push the
pressure.
CT right now.
Just take him down. You want to know the weapon that did it? Apparently it belongs to Fear. It has Fear's autograph. Okay.
Yeah, he's proud of his father.
He does that one for Daddy, and Kakaka looking to do one for his team here. Nice kickback. PPD puts him right back into the action. Connect field down. Siphon will be moving on through, and PPD has accepted the fact that he will be dropping. And it makes this game even now 3-3.
This is like both teams just saying they want to fight. They don't care about CS stands. We've few like the past games, whereas last game it was EG just going for a kill, not caring about their CS. They were getting in. They were finding pickoffs and
Man, can't even get a moment to actually talk about the game and what the hell's happening. I wanted to see what the repercussions there were for this DP without having the courier. It's back now.
I mean, she got a kill on the. I think the
Yeah.
repercussions was that Earthspirit spent a lot of time helping out mid more than they otherwise would have, but they.
Thing that he normally do.
Yeah, I guess he would. Or this, he was kind of like a king mid.
Yeah.
But hey, you get a kill, secured probably a decent start.
Yeah.
You're fine with that. But looking at this 13 CS on Death Prophet, that's pretty low for 3.5 minutes in. So that's maybe one of the.
Who has a
the
lot
big
of CS
problems.
though is this guy right here. Dark is just getting
It's having a good
some
time.
serious red right now. And going against this big husky melee of a Tidehunter who can't deal with these ion shells, it's pretty frustrating.
As well, like, looking at G's approach to this game, the one I did with the draft was take out 11's heroes. They went right and limited his hero.
As we approach the fight here, Fear gonna get locked down with the bolt smash, and he will be taken. Oh,
He killed Secure. Teaser going straight into the cave to try and get some farm going. Just takes out that camp and not gonna be looking to test the Orphling's lane so much with the build like this.
sucky here, old chicken. Forces back Sumail. And I don't know if he was hoping that the rune was going to be there, but it's not. And PPD swings in as she swings out. All right. PPD seems to be trying to be a bit more proactive.
Oh, he gave him the branch in the mid lane. He popped down a tree for him to tango for the double region.
What a guy.
What a good support.
Take advantage of
That is a
6.86. Bottom
dedicated
lane,
support.
eventually, it looks like Fear makes his way down there. Fear was just killed at top lane, but then Nightfall hit, and they found an opportunity to make it work. Bottom lane, they'll take the time down, and it looks like they're going to get some serious work down on this tower as they quickly clear out the wave with the help of the double ion shell. They're going to get serious potential damage in on it, but getting Fear proactive already in this first nighttime so early is great for his Night Stalker Oda.
Yep.
Dire's bottom
We'll have
tower
to see
is
what
under
Chen's
attack.
first big move. It looked like he tried to swing a mid lane. Death Prophet, one of those mids, kind of like a Zeus or something, where you want to, as a Chen, and look for that smoke gank sometime in the first like 4 to 6 minutes, if possible. Since finding kills there can go a long way, and it is a hero with just no escape or no way of dealing with Chen ganks very well.
Now, EG have the ward in the top river to see the rotations from Kaka here. So Arteezy makes the appropriate adjustment, knows that his best option is just to kind of deal with the camp. He'll do that. EHOME continues on the move, and actually, they see this, but look how fast he's able to get in the fight. He still has a boulder smash, but doesn't want to commit it here. The kill's not there, but what they already have done is very, very nice. They force him away from the camp, and they're going to take the big bird themselves.
Yeah, they do reveal their ward position. That's something I guess at some point was going to come obvious and will expire as well. So they may as well swoop on in, pressure the Sven a bit, and go from there. It also gives them info that
This one's a swing and a hit onto Sumail. They got the glimpse. They certainly do. Right back in the kinetic field, and that will set up Soul Siphon. They rotated Arteezy and Fear, and it looks like they'll take him down. The top was not going to be successful. Does catch the creep, and it looks like Old Chicken, after committing the exorcism, is going to walk away.
those 4 EG heroes in the mid lane too, and
Yeah.
couldn't keep Tiny alive. Couldn't get a return kill as well, yet at least.
Radiant's middle tower
And
is
using the
under
back
attack.
end of this exorcism. It's only level 1. It's like flying pillows, but it will do a little softening up on this tier 1, it looks like. So what started as a, first blood courier
Night
loss.
Stalker, they will kill
very
Old
well.
Chicken.
They get him. Fear shows up from behind, gets the
Great
void.
killing, though. Oh,
There's
that's
the
the worst
avalanche
possible
combo.
timing, maybe.
Still
Okay,
got
they got
plenty of damage. They will be able to bring her down.
It was like half through the heal they went in there. And...
They had the firepower. They got it.
yeah, and that's the thing. EG's lineup, it's kind of that face rush draft where you've got Tiny Night Stalker, Sven, Warcry, you've got all this bonus movement speed, you've got a Night Stalker, you've got Darkseid with Surge, you put Iron Shell and these tanky melee heroes with huge movement speed like Sven and Night Stalker, and they're just going to run at EHOME and look to pressure them probably quite heavily anytime during the first and second night phase.
Universe Starks here is still really farming this early game right now. 55 and 3, even incorporated jungle when the wave is too far forward. He's going to have a mech pretty damn fast here.
Looking for another kill on Tide too.
Yeah. Still got some nighttime here. Let's see if we can, you know, get something in the last 20 seconds. Let's go! Moving in for the water. Can they get it? Is it going to force that rotation? They got the wall. It's going to be dry. Backing back through it, and they get done, man. EG squeeze out the last seconds of this Nightfall and get a good catch on the Tide Hunter.
Really good nighttime coming up from Fierce Night Stalker, and puts a lot of pressure on the EHOME, but some of that will be alleviated as it hits day, and feel a bit happy about getting themselves some farm. Maybe look to use that next exorcism. An arcane rune on Death Prophet, but still just level 7, so EHOME though, as soon as it hits day, are going on the aggressive with a smoke.
Obviously, we see the early kit build up here for CTY Perseverance, but oh, walks right towards Sumail to get the combo off. There's the stun. He's starting to build up the strength right now, and he seems too tough of a cookie to crack, it looks like, and he'll be able to make it away. Swing and a miss for EG on that gank attempt, and EHOME are going to be up to bat now with their own gank. They're stewing at the weep. They drop a nice mid ward between the two towers. Exorcism looking to go all in for the tier 1, and they're going to be able to stop PPD. Thunderstrike, roll forward. Eventually the Soul Siphon will be able to get a hold of him, and Old Chicken will claim that kill. And they want to take the pesky little creeps as well. That's a tier 1 down, and some extra money in the bank here for EHOME.
And the arcane room with the exorcism means it's just going to come up that little bit faster as well for the next exorcism. And a lot of teams you see play the Death Prophet a lot more kind of farm intensive and slower pace. EHOME not about that. They're looking to use this ultimate already twice in the first 10 minutes of the game, when a lot of teams would not have used it once in the first 10 minutes.
Nicely done. First Spirit helps provide the vision for it. They got the Boulder Smash stun. Well, there's nothing he's going to be able to do to make it away from that kind of trouble. And some EHOME has said, we're going to be in the driver's seat of this game as the mid-game begins to develop. EHOME want to be off to a fresh start because this is going to be the peaking time for EG's lineup soon. You know, you're going to have a Chen with a build-up arm, his level 6 Hand to God ready. Universe, who got a nicely timed mechanism. Yeah, EHOME want to make sure they get as much as they can right now before that time comes.
And he doesn't want to just using that mechanism to like make those kind of defensive TP rotations to save teammates. You want to be using it to get aggressive, to dive towers, to run at EHOME and use it just to help sustain the aggression.
They're TP in, they're trying to do it as far from the disruptor as possible. Don't want to get, you know, sent right back from whence you came.
They've got darkness here.
Atlanta moving in. Oh, he might save the glimpse for this Sumail. No, he's looking to head out. Now a committed Ravage coming out from 11, and it looks to be a bit of a space creator here as EHOME looking to retreat, and it helps set up the Chen down. After they take down 2, Sumail still looking to move in. They're going to grab the kill to 11 here. Kinetic Field holds him near the tower. Look at this, Old Chicken thinks that he might be able to get an extra life for it, but Fear, quick to retreat.
Where did the Sven die?
I don't know, it was just like, yeah.
Was that top lane?
It was top.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay, I
Magnetize.
was wondering if it was a solo kill from Morphing. I was like, that sounds crazy, but yeah. So Earth Spirit went top and used Magnetize, it appears.
Yep, first Magnetize of the game, and
TZ's just going to casually ulti to farm.
Sometimes you gotta do what you can. So off to a bit of a struggle here for EG, but hey, we were saying similar stuff the last game here, and EHOME by this time already knocking down into the high ground. So EG though, never a team that you can never count out even though they're down.
Yeah, and unlike some of the past games, they're having a much better laning space. They've got farm and all 3 of their core heroes, a jungling Chen with 28 CS, a 4-position Night Stalker with 15 CS. So in terms of overall farm and item progression, they're looking pretty good. It's just maybe the Sven of our TZ who's not doing as well as he'd like, but he's going to quickly catch up with the Helmet of Dominator, the Greater Cleave build that he's gone for.
How are we feeling? Oh, as bottom lane, Sumail showing off that fancy little blink. Gonna get in with the Avalanche Toss combo, but she's still alive, and what a setup coming in, and suddenly The Earth Spirit has made his presence known. As he moves in, he gets a big combo set up onto Sumail. Magnetize is there. Can they cancel it? Yes, they can. They got the Boulder Smash, and Magnetize would have obviously been plenty of damage to burst it over. And they're going to get a kill mid lane, taking down Fear. A double setup right now for EHOME across the board. Oh, just at the right place at the right time. I commend the rotation play already.
And it's amazing the discrepancy between the fights happening at day and night. Any fight, like during the day, it's just EHOME coming out on top. At night, it was all EG, and that's again. So it's going to be curious to see what EG's next couple of movements are going to be. And they do have that nighttime advantage. But Unit's 0. He's had a fantastic game 3 here for EG.
EG, who had to battle their way through a micro tiebreaker, at least if you compare that to the other group, but taking on newbie to get to this position would. I guess it only suit EG to be knocked into the lower bracket first round, though.
Yeah.
But they obviously no team wants to be put in that kind of a pickle.
It wasn't like a tiebreaker to decide like first in your group to start in the semifinals. No, if you lost that tiebreaker, you're starting in the lower bracket, which is a much tougher spot to be in. But
EHOME already looking like they might have the opportunity to swing at VG Gaming, who look like the potential top dogs of this tournament so far. Well, 11.
Oh, a TZ stack. They can't afford to lose.
Oh, look at this. Look at this off count we got right here. 11's like, that could be my blink.
This is going to be like a big. This is going to be the next 5v5 fight.
It's like a mini Roche fight right here.
Yes.
The way that this camp is just so precious. Oh my god, even both sides smoking, they're like, someone's got to get that money. And look at this, ring around the rosy, a do-side-do kind of a place. EG head up north and around. EHOME swing around the south, up and around. It could end up catching EHOME from the flank side.
EHOME have such good vision on the map right now, like towards in mid and top lane, that they see so much.
Oh, they see the courier.
Oh my god!
They're on the high ground. Look at this. Oh, but quick jump from Sumail keeps 11 back, but the bonus match is going to be there. Back into the wall. 11 is going to be able to get off the rampage, or the rabbit rather, and now the stacks are going to be committed. Arteezy hit up from the Magnetize right now. Look at the base on the CTY wall. Fear up in arms with Kaka. Now going to be caught inside the kinetic field. Magnetize just riddled throughout a serious disease, flying through the evil geniuses, but EHOME are going to be losing a death profit here. If this is a swing and a miss, Old 11 is going to be going. Arteezy and company now put their focus on the CTY, while Lanham is going to be securing a double kill, being able to finish off the Chet.
Is Arteezy? No, he's like, is he going to go for the Ancients with that Godstring? No. But that way, if he hits, it's a 4-for-1. Zen probably dies. You just need to hit the wave and get like one more right click off. But I think all in all, kind of a neutral-ish fight. EHOME can still look to contest those Ancients. It is fight considering it was nighttime. I think EHOME will be happy with it. The one big issue for those fights for them is that they can't keep the Death Prophet alive. She uses Exorcism, just died immediately. I think EG knew burst down Death Prophet, otherwise we're going to lose this fight.
That it could have been amazing for EHOME given the positioning, but their smoke popped and they had that ward up there. So with quick reactions, Sumail just jumped around the Tidehunter, because he was there, and it almost looked like he was salivating at the opportunity to get a huge revenue.
And he hit the Tide, and I want to say Death Prophet who behind. It was one other hero that got hit like with the Avatar's combo, so he got 2 heroes down to roughly a 3rd HP from the very start, and that just made that a lot more manageable for EG, because they'd already dished out its amount of damage. And...
Oh, they got their own stack. EHOME are there, but they're just going to see the riddled corpses that was once a big, proud, ancient camp family. And 11, who commits to deeping, walking past the stack, is now just up inside EG's face now. It looks like he's going to be able to wall himself out from trouble, but they go towards the wall here, and EG look to reposition and refocus their strengths here. It looks like 11 is going to be able to make it all the way, but Kaka, not so lucky. Universe going to get the last chop on him. He is now unstoppable. It's been a wonderful Darkseer game for him. Starting with the laning phase, and now EHOME are going to be forced back.
You can see there kind of one of the big differences between the two lineups is EHOME very much need to play around some of these longer cooldown ultimates, Ravage as well as Exorcism, whereas EG have a lot more uptime for their draft.
Looks like committed Static Storm is not going to end up in a kill there. Maybe a defensive zoning one at that, but now with that down, EG feel like they have everything they can add with the help of this Chen army now. Easily push down this mid-tier 1 tower. The first tower takedown for EG in this game. And the pendulum begins to slowly swing here. Reminiscent of Game 2, EG, even though it was A little bit of a slow start. We'll have to see what they look to kind of build up next. Sumail has been holding this Blink Dagger for a while. Is it necessary for him to kind of build up as a backup kind of a core going right for the Ags, or can he build a utility to complement something like Arteezy Sven in this game?
It's a lot easier for him to go utility because he's not farming well, so he can just pick up cost-effective items like 4-star for the team. No, not really Veil. Like a 4-star for Yules, these kind of items can offer a lot of utility, whereas the Ags, the Assault Cuirass type, that's going to secure you a much stronger late game, but getting there into the late game is just looking quite hard for him because he's sitting at 4.5k net worth. He is well behind Morphling, Death Prophet, his own teammate, and the Darkseer. So finding the farm like this, he's not like a good farming here at this stage, considering all he's got is a blink dagger. So he may just feel pressured into saying, chances are I'm not going to get a good timing on an Ag Scepter. Let's just go for an item that can be useful in the next 5-10 minutes, which would be the 4-star.
And for CTY, you know, still ahead of Arteezy by like 1k gold. He continues to take the appropriate fights. He seems to snipe in a couple of kills. He's 3-1 and 2 right now, but now with this Linkens, he's going to be very tough takedown. This is where he can begin to build up more offensively here, and that's when you have a serious CTY on your case.
And he's in that good position we saw him in Game 1, where if he'll join up with his team and fight his fight when like those big fights, like important fight around the Ancients, and you've got Ravage and Exorcism, he'll be there. But in these farming periods, his teammates are grouped as 4 while he's solo farming, and he just knows that he is not like a really feasible kill for EG to go for because of the likelihood of him escaping. It'd just be a waste of time for EG.
Nice little D ward there for EHOME, and they're going to use that opportunity to put in a nice ward. If they were checking his inventory from when he dewarded the first one and they see him on the way out now, they can, by deduction, be able to kind of isolate where that ward is and have a very short life here. And I imagine, well, I don't know, do you think Roche is going to be of importance in this game in the near future here? I feel like EG have the Roche kind of potential lineup, but obviously being Radiant side, you might need to kind of follow up after a good kill.
Both teams have,
but they're eyeballing it right now.
And you've got Exorcism on the EHOME side, and you've got good Roche contest with Ravage plus Exorcism, but having a BKB on Sven, they feel confident they can next fight into that Ravage.
Looks like they're going. EHOME are kind of, you know,
kinetic build is great for scouting this.
Yeah, I think. Oh, they scouted. Oh, Arteezy doesn't seem to be phased yet.
I don't think EHOME are going to let this one go uncontested though.
It could be bad. I mean, Kaka could just roll in there and get the party started, but we'll see how EHOME want to approach this. The Universe is guarding the other side to see if anyone tries to approach from the bottom.
I almost feel like they didn't believe that EG would continue roaching after that first kinetic fill. They're like, oh, we'll scout it. Okay, they're going to stop now.
10 creeps now moving in, giving all that extra intel here for EG. Fear sweeps in, they're trying to slow down. Yeah, the camp here, they end up using the silence on the replicate. Down to about a third of its life. The Roche begins to wither away. Look at this, old chicken already committing the exorcism here. They scout out Fear. And Fear could be in a bit of trouble. He will end up going down. Ravage on this gets great catch onto both Arteezy and PP. And now it's turned into a double kill for CTY. EG on full retreat. They lose another. They're going to be down a buyback as they desperately want to make sure they can at least contest this Roche. Otherwise, they're going to be handing over a damn near freebie to EHOME. And they're going to be using the back end of the exorcism to put it to work. Here comes Sumail, they're jumping in, they put off the combo with a big static storm and set up from Lanham. Dominating for him, they have taken down 3 from EG already, making 4 with the drop of Arteezy. Fear set to go down, Lanham gets him with the glimpse, they get the kill, all 5 gonna be dropped, and the Roche going for EHOME now. They have opened this game, they have ripped it wide open for themselves.
I gotta say, Dakota, it's not looking good for your Earth Spirit in the next patch. Some of those just like stun combos just going off. The Death Prophet as well, like soul siphoning Helia. That was just such a well executed team fight by EHOME. Like they did everything right. They played around the fact it was nighttime and EG have the Night Stalker so incredibly well, like wrapping around through the jungle, and they just picked EG apart one by one. The first fight, and the second fight, it was EG kind of buying back. They weren't already in fighting shape, and this time around, unlike the last fight of the Ancients, Death Prophet did not get bursted down. They did an amazing job of just protecting Death Prophet by having bodies in front of her, as well as just using the mech at the right time. It was just, all in all, a much better team fight from EHOME, man.
Man, they use the positioning and the map so well there. The choke point fighting, beautifully executed, land them with that kinetic field static storm set up.
Could never get to the Death Prophet. Like, you look at the fight around the Ancients, it just felt like it was in this much more open area where EG could always maneuver past the kinetic field or around it. This time around, like, yeah, it was the choke points and everything that just worked in EHOME's favor.
Man, all these Earth Spirits are just on this Blade Mail bandwagon now. I just don't understand it. I mean, I can... Oh, every game, the way you can justify Blade Mail working out, and on a hero like Earth Spirit, it can be great. Extra damage, extra mana, which he certainly needs. I mean, he already has Arcane Boots, so I guess mana wasn't a problem up to that point. And, you know, when in this kind of position, it's like, he's going in there, getting up in their face. He's practically throwing almost his life away just to get off as much of a fuss as he can.
Would you prefer the Veil instead?
I don't know, it just seems like ever since WeHow's like, I'm mid laner Spirit and I get Veil and Blade Mail. It's like, we're all getting Veil and Blade Mail now.
Yeah.
It just seems no more Aether Lenses coming out. No more crushes for Aghanim Scepters or Blink or mobilities. And, you know, some we even see come for early mechs, you know, given this situation.
I really like the Veil. I'm not sold on the Blade. I mean, Blade Mail I think is great stats.
But with the Veil, it does make it a lot more appetizing.
I think it's amazing on the hero, like amazing in general right now, and teams are starting to realize like buying it a lot on various support heroes.
Maybe just that small nerf to Aether Lens is just like deters them away.
I mean, the Blade, I think the one thing Blade Mail is going from is because of how tanky he is. He's on 1300 HP, so the more HP you have, the more value you get from having a Blade Mail.
More armor and everything. It's nice. It's a nice item. It's just funny that now it's like, now it's all get Blade Mail. We all get Veil.
Everyone follows the latest trends.
Okay, as they go for that bottom tier 2 push, EG try to make some work happen for themselves. Already that tier 2 goes down so damn fast, and they're trying to still get some use out of this Exorcism. And a committed jump onto CTY happens from Sumail. It's not nearly enough to break down the morph. He begins to swell on up.
Long stun.
And yeah, Sumail, after already committing the combo, is just going to be dragged on back into the fray, and EHOME will take his life.
It's been a tough game for Sumail. From the early laning stage, getting bullied by the Earth Spirit, he's getting picked off a lot, and he may even need to go for something like a BKB here. I mean, that's a big expensive item, but BKB is so important against Disruptor, the Morphling stuns, the Earth Spirit, Tide Ravage, that it may just be like a blink BKB. And even though he doesn't necessarily do a lot of damage during the BKB, it just protects him in the team fights. Protects him from the Ethereal Blade of the Morphling now as well. This is a huge pickup for CTY.
The PPD really committed for that burst. I don't know if it was mostly directed for this Death Prophet to make sure she just was not a problem, but you know, even when the Tiny was picked up, I couldn't help but be like, oh, it's been interesting. We'll have to see the potency of this Tiny as the game does progress, but it doesn't look like there's going to be very many options for him to even find the bits of farm, because whatever's out there and left now, after these, you know, secondary towers are going down, has got to go all to our teeth.
Yeah, it's going for the 4-star, so it will be just that cheap utility item. Like this, he hasn't even finished the 4-star, so you talk about getting an Ags or a BKB, it's like, well, where's the money coming from?
Oh, nice little glimpse set up, and suddenly Fear's in trouble. Did they have the vision with the help of a ward on the high ground or something? They just seem to kind of easily scout him out. They ping out as if they thought there was a ward up there or somewhere, but I
just like found him. Unless the ward just expired, I didn't see that.
Good catch nonetheless, and Fear is out. My goodness. Octarine Core now picked up, and Arteezy get a Blink Dagger here. I mean, EG do have, you know, the high ground potential with a Darkseer. You always do. I've seen many a game where
they've caught Universe.
Yeah, Glimpse cancels out any sort of TP under a static storm. The morph, and he's got a mega kill streak
now. They've got Aegis to try and push high ground. They may go for this one. They've got Schism back up as well, and this is
tier 2 then high ground.
Very dangerous. EG may just lose the first lane to Rex to this one. Oh, Aegis expires. Okay, so that's a small sigh of relief, but I don't think EHOME are going to stop.
Yeah, their big high ground defense was those Darkseer, so without him there, that is a big problem for EHOME now. So they will get what timing they can.
EHOME have mech as well as Tide. Having picked that up means you've got this really scary frontliner too, who kind of mentioned like he doesn't need to go blink because he's against all these melee heroes, and well,
jumping from Sumail.
Yeah, cute little play.
Tickle, a little bit of a tickle here.
With the chin sand back, just looking to try and bait things out.
Aiming to keep him off of the towers. Oh my! CTY! pulls out the shotgun and just shoots down PPD. And that Shed is going to be out of the equation for 30 seconds. These Rax is now exposed. EHOME to the verge of keeping it to the base. And here comes the big hop for EG, though. Big vacuum wall set right into the heart of EHOME. It's going to be all it takes, though. Looks like quickly EHOME are going to with their own so they dish out the magnetize. And quickly Old Chicken just begins to sweep on through. He's going to get the grab on for Fear. Ravage now comes out from 11. And it is just into the heart of EG. Archeesy, who is deep into the fray, will quickly go down. And that will be it for Evil Geniuses. They will, in the EG tradition, be knocked down into the lower bracket for the first round of the playoffs and are going to be set to face off against who I believe will be Complexity. But for this win on the side of EHOME, they have secured their matchup against VG Gaming in the next round.
Man, Morphling winning a lot of games in this tournament, it feels like. Earth Spirit, now I mean, we talked about the Earth Spirit, but I actually took Morphling has been incredibly successful. And one of the things that it looked like when the match came out, we're going to see a lot of kind of fast-paced games where teams are 5-manning, pushing high ground. And that's kind of what is happening with these Death Prophets, these Lone Druid games. But it's like these 4-man pushes where they create space for Morphling, and then around